It's only one. Mose.
Inspiration. You're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother Old God and SamAnt. Today, exclusively on iTunes, all around the world, Spotify, and wherever you're listening now. Just a couple of quick shout outs to the people listening in Violin, AC, LA, and I think Georgia, Atlanta. You know what I mean? We seen, you know, New York. Definitely shout out to y'all, man. Definitely we getting it in. So I'm gonna talk about this Meek Mill situation, talking about, you know, court and different things. Meek Mill, you know, dropped to a little trailer today for some justice reform, prison reform. So I'm gonna play this little trailer by Meek Mill. I'm gonna get your thoughts on this, Sam, man. Yeah.
The criminal justice system has a set of rights created to protect you. But do you think it's really protecting us? You had a right to remain silent, but that really means you had a right to be silenced, doubted, interrogated, suspected. The color of your skin can and will be used against you in the court of law. You had a right to be innocent until proven guilty, but somehow about 47% of the wrongly convicted are black. And if you don't remain perfect, with the smallest slip up, smallest infraction, the most honest mistake, you're gonna join us, the 80% who come back to prison within 5 years, as I did. That's when you realize they didn't bring us here to thrive. They brought us here to build this. The plantation and the prison are actually no different. The past is the present. It ain't no coincidence.
So yeah, Sam, man, you see that, you know, interesting trailer, you know, by Meek Mill today, dropping that on Instagram. What are your thoughts initially on that trailer by Meek Mill? Very different. We talked about this in the pre-production.
Yeah, well, it's something that we've expressed throughout us as a culture throughout time. We know this, but we've never heard this publicly spoke ever before. So it kind of surprised us, and the cynical side of us started running a little bit. But I'm going to say something live on air that I didn't say on the pre-production meeting, and it just goes to show you what society we live in today, because we can put money toward a situation and broadcast whatever we want.
Right.
Someone may or may not wanted this to come out, but they may have not couldn't have stopped it because of someone else being able to put some real money behind a situation and just drop it. And that's where we're at, as opposed to the early 90s, the 80s, or even maybe the early 2000s. This kind of power wasn't offered to us where we can kind of hear these things. So,
that's facts.
You know what I mean? I would like to lean toward this side, because Meek Mill is in a situation and in a system where he could still lose his life and his freedom. Oh, yeah. Even through all of the celebrity and everything that's going on, he's still one quote unquote mistake or honest, whatever, of losing his freedom again. And that's dangerous. So I don't think that he'd be out here agenda based necessarily, like we automatically kind of jump to, and we got great conversation on that. But I think that there just goes to show you that where money in 2018 can go, nothing really can stop you. I'm interested to see what he's going to do going further with this. Yeah, because it's known.
Well, my thing is, like, I'm loving the way they're doing it with the media, like you said, because a lot of the stuff that's, you know, negative or against us is done with the media. Like we talked about movies, you know, and stuff. So it's only right that you fight back with that same, you know, apparatus. So, you know, Meek Mill, I think, you know, the reason why I think it's always going to be skepticism for people like that, because, you know, the thing is that every time or anytime that somebody's supposed to be, you know, coming out and speaking against the so-called system or the agenda of the system, they're either, you know, paid to do so, you know, or how come they not being destroyed, this, that, and the third. But you made a great point, you know, when you said that he kind of is, and this is the reason why he's doing it. And he's still, with all the money, all the girls, all the hits on the billboard, he can still be back in jail tomorrow, and just be sitting begging pretty much to get out, paying millions of dollars, and still can't get out of jail. So yeah, man, I have to agree, and we have to, you know, salute that, because if you look at people like Pac, you know, and other activists that you have right now in the hip hop arena, you have to say Meek Mill is leading the charge. He's actually using his platform now for the benefit of his people, as opposed to just continuing to rap about the nonsense, the Molly, the popping, the perks, the alcohol. May do a little bit of that here and there, but this is huge. You know what I mean? We got to definitely salute, you know, Meek Mill on this. You're going to have your skeptics. That's with anything, anything you do. But long as, you know, like you said, I can't wait to see, you know, what this, you know, brings out in the future. And I definitely agree.
Do you feel like the Champions album coming up November 30th, is that going to be a political heavy album? And if so, do you think it'll get a lot of backlash? Because we see where he's going. Oodles and Noodles came out. That was heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was definitely going toward that side of just how we came up. And this is the lane that he seems to be real strong and passionate about. So are we going to get a real political album, i.e. like a 444 kind of joint, or Nas-esque kind of album? What do you expect from Meek Mill?
You know what? I'm on. It's crazy you say that, because I was you know, heard a clip of that, you know, this morning. And I'm like, man, this album, I'm kind of really looking forward to this album. It's gonna be real dope.
Yeah.
Because that's an aspect, but it's almost like Meek Mill's reaching a level like when Jay-Z when he put the Blueprint out. You know what I mean? He just, you know, not to say that he was super political at that point, but he's just really starting to get to a point in his career where it's just like his music is really, you know what I mean, starting to come into his own and be real legendary. And I have to, you know, say that about Meek Mill, especially him moving, you know, towards more political. And it's funny that you say that once again, because yeah, I think he's still going to mix what he has to do. He's going to be Meek Mill, but he's going to give you maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3 songs where it's like, yo, I got to make the hood feel this. You know what I mean? We got to go back, because I think the situation with Meek, you know, he kind of got on the fast track, made a lot of money, and kind of, not to say that he lost himself, but kind of lost, you know, in touch of reality, and going back in jail a few times and seeing that, look, none of this really means nothing. You know what I mean? And he's now using his platform and his influence now to change those things that got him in the situation that he's in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And as we know, the color of your skin, that's another thing we was talking about. You know what I mean? Yeah, colorism and you know, racism, you know, 2 major things that kind of still get swept under the rug. So real dope what Meek's doing, man. Gotta salute it.
I gotta salute it. And the evolution is definitely something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Because when you see where he went through, and he's always been a rapper to talk about life experiences. Always been one of those rappers to take you through his life through his eyes. And it's been dope. And him going through what he's went through these last couple of years and kind of evolving as a man. And we all know as we grow up, we kind of have these evolutions. And he had to evolve in a prison system and see how unfair it was for popping willies and going to rehab over a 10 to 12 year span. Now he's sitting in jail, losing time, losing his life, losing his, you know what I mean? Wow. I got a bigger platform to talk on in the last couple of records. Yeah, we got Meek, but it's been an evolution, and definitely excited to see what comes out on this album when it comes out further. Like you said, you're going to have your critics. We were critics for a couple seconds before we got to really sit back and dive into the situation. We think this is dope and look forward to seeing more, man.
Yes, sir. But you're tuned into the Uncensored Truth podcast with your brother, Old God, and SamAnt. Be going in today. Everybody on our YouTube platform, do me a favor, hit the like button and make sure that you share this video. We do appreciate each and every listener on whatever platform that you're listening on. SamAnt, what do you think about this?
It's only one Mose.